Hey everyone, welcome to another exciting episode of Mitch's Minute. As I hope that all the details save into there it is. All right.
Yay, finally.
Sorry,
Thank you, YouTube.
sorry I'm late, everyone. I was in the middle of watching Mel Brooks's Men in Tights. Um,
I
which
have no context for what Men in Tights
you
is.
know what? You know what we're gonna do before we even get into anything else? How about we talk about that real quick? So, thank God I'm
Yeah, so what is Men in Tights?
All right, so hang on one sec. Thank God for studio mode. So Men in Tights is a Robin Hood parody film. Um,
Alright.
hang on a sec, and don't fade. Just yeah. Well, I didn't mean for you to fade, but sure. Just cut.
Sure, why
Just
not?
cut. Yeah. All right. So Mel Brooks is Men in Tights. If you guys don't know who Mel Brooks is, he made a lot of parody films throughout his career,
Uh-huh.
including Blazing Saddles, Top Secret, which Top Secret's probably like my favorite one. But he made like a lot of parody films, and this one was making fun of just the Robin Hood trend. They had released a couple of Robin Hood films over a course of like 5 or 6 years, and it was kind of making fun of that. It has like Dave Chappelle in it, Don DeLuise, and a couple of big like names for the time. And no, okay. Tabby mouthed the phrase Patrick Stewart at me.
Of Patrick Stewart.
But Pat, he shows up at the very end. But the point is that it's pretty fun. It's a pretty like silly film. It's definitely like one of those movies that like you could like just watch and just if you're into like some like silly humor, it's pretty good.
If
Um,
you're into men and tights.
yeah, there's a lot of just like fun bits. Some hit weirdly harder than others. Um, there's like there's a lot of like just fun humor in which like you know there's like Little John is guarding a bridge, and the bridge is just the tiniest bridge, and it only like covers like a small creek that you could easily just walk over.
Okay.
And like Dave Chappelle starts trying to like point it out, but it's like, no, it's the principle of the matter. So Robin and him start fighting, and the sticks start breaking as they fight, and so they keep having to throw away half of the sticks to just keep fighting each other, and they just keep breaking until eventually like Robin just starts like hitting him on the hand, and
Oh, damn.
and then like Little John falls into this very tiny creek, and he's like, "Oh God, swim! Oh God,
I
I'm
can't swim. I can't swim.
dying!" And like he's clearly okay.
Oh my god.
Like with that kind of humor, like it's it's very silly and tongue in cheek, and it's very fun. Um,
It sounds like it.
yeah, Mel Brooks, like all his films are just real funny. Like if you're in the mood for just something like silly and surreal, or just like something that breaks the fourth wall, but not in like the Deadpool-ish kind of way, that's what you're like looking for. Like Deadpool, when he breaks the fourth wall, it's kind of like it's not smug. Sometimes it can be a little bit though, you know.
Right.
I'm trying to think of it like he breaks the fourth wall, and like and then it's I'm trying to think of it. Well, I guess it's just this is more like it's silly, but it's not ridiculous. Like Deadpool will be ridiculous, while this will be just more silly. So
Okay. That sounds like a good time then.
yeah, absolutely. So that's the reason I'm late. So sorry everyone that I was late to the podcast today. I was watching that
I was
because
too busy enjoying my mini tates.
I was too busy enjoying a pretty good film. I'd never seen it before. Dave Chappelle. I didn't know that Dave Chappelle was in it. I didn't know that like some of these bigger names were in it. It's pretty good. It was pretty solid.
Hell yeah, it sounds like it.
Um, you know what though? I
Hmm.
don't. Tab, you're in the room. Do you know who plays the king?
The king?
Oh, the prince.
Yeah, who's playing him?
I know his face, but I couldn't tell you the actor.
God, hang on a second.
But he's got a good bit. Going
I just want you to be like, why are you even in the room?
It was
What the fuck?
It was Richard
It
Lewis.
I don't know.
That's who. Oh, oh, jeez.
Grezin says I love the duel scene in that.
Oh, the duel scene of that's pretty good. I'm trying to think of what you would know him for. I don't think there is anything you would know him for.
Except for probably fucking Men in Tights, right? Oh, there we go.
Once Upon a Crime.
No. Moral of the story is, I guess we just have to watch it then.
Yeah, you'll just have to watch it because his voice is very recognizable. So.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah. So that's the reason I'm late, everyone. Sorry about that, real quick. Let's go ahead and get into some channel news, yo.
Yeah.
All right. And cut. Yes, thank you. Okay, don't do the fade thing.
Stop it.
So in channel news this week, you guys should have the regular lineup. I know last week we ran into some issues. Gang Widow couldn't make it for Persona, but this week we should be able to get some more stuff done. By the end of this week, we should have another chapter of Fire Emblem done, and we'll be kind of wrapping that up here in the next couple bits. I think the Yellow Deer House is the longest one.
Really?
I'm pretty sure it's the longest one.
Okay.
Because I remember just hearing that piece of trivia just randomly. But yeah, I think everyone else has like 18 or 19, maybe 20 possibly, and then they have like the full bit. So, but you should have everything coming this week. Everything like stream wise, everything should be fine. And then yeah, that'll be it. I'm not gonna be doing any uploads this week, I don't think. Just because the schedule's been once again busy. I feel like that's pretty much par for the course at this point. I've been saying that for like the last month now. And it's kind of the truth, it's we can't really work on anything at the moment. It's been like a whole 9 yards of just fun.
It really sounds like it.
Oh yeah, no, it's great. But that's not what we were here to talk about tonight, guys. Tonight we're going to be talking about all sorts of random fun stuff here. Because we did not have enough time to come up with a subject for today's episode. But there's some just random stuff. We did this a couple weeks back where we were just talking about a bunch of random subjects and kind of like, what we kind of thought about them. And there is some stuff that I kind of like. If you guys have anything you want us to talk about in the chat, feel free to put it in. But I figured we could do another freeform kind of episode because that was fun last time we did it.
Oh, hell yeah.
There is one specific thing I kind of want to talk about.
What's that?
We have talked about this like outside of everything. We don't mention it on the show or anything, but I don't know which picture to use. I don't know what picture. All this looks. Ooh, okay.
To be fair, it's a surprise for me and anyone watching.
Yeah, that's right. So I want to talk a little bit about the constant thing. I need to find a screenshot that's not going to immediately cause me problems.
I know. You and me too, Grozin. Grozin says you're making me nervous. Yeah, same, buddy.
Okay, so. I haven't watched any of it, but I think it's the funniest thing to me is every now and then I will be just like going through Anime News Network, just checking out like what are some what's the new stuff. Mainly I'm looking for Gundam stuff or One Piece stuff that kind of like fits my interests. But every now and then I get another piece of the puzzle of this game of broadcasting. That is my current segment. What the fuck is interspecies reviewers?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Every week there is a new piece of news that I have to like tell like someone about, because I'm like, okay, what is this? And then, okay, so for those at home who don't know what Interspecies Reviewers is, good.
It's porn.
It's porn. It's porn. It's porn. So what it boils down to is this. The basic premise is it's apparently taken from a very, very short series. The anime kind of expands on it. Beyond that, I don't really know much else about it other than the fact that the series goes as this. Essentially, it is a fantasy world in which monster girls and, like different like races, fantasy races kind of live together. And these characters go out of their way to go to the red light districts of different places to fuck and get down, so that they can then review them on a tavern board or like some sort of like thing, like a newspaper or like a tavern board or something like that. And they review them, and that's all I know. But the reason why I want to talk about this isn't just because it's porn. It's because every week I hear a new piece of news about it. Every week it's like,
what's there to fucking talk about?
So, okay. So, I remember when they had the first PV, because I watched the first PV. I was like, okay, what the fuck is this? It's an Ichi series. What's the Ichi series about? Well, these guys fuck monster girls and then review them. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, I mean, sure, why not? What I didn't know was that they actually, they keep it on the closest edge of the border between hentai and anime. And it is the funniest fucking thing, because I'll go through my Twitter feed and I'll go through Anime News Network, and it's like apparently Funimation had wanted to do a simuldub of this project, right?
Oh no, yeah.
And I don't think they 100% knew what it was, and I don't think the stations that accepted it knew exactly what it was gonna be. So what happened was Funimation wanted to do a simuldub, and they dropped it pretty early on, like episode 1 or 2. They just dropped the simuldub in its entirety.
How did you get to episode 2? Fuck, how did you get through halfway through episode 1?
I don't think
not immediately go, this is a porno. This is hentai.
I don't think people knew what. There must have been some sort of miscommunication somewhere down the line, not just for Funimation, but for all the TV stations, because I think this is shown very, very late at night, mind you. But like, they apparently show enough that it has become a problem, and stations have actively picked this series up and then drop them.
Oh my god. Like, how do you not know? How do the voice actors come in like, hello, I'd like to audition, and then they look down at their lines and it's like, all this says is, oh baby, oh baby, oh baby. And moaning. Yeah. Is this a porn? Am I trying out for a porn? How do you not look down and just go, this is a porn script?
So what has happened is this. Funimation removed Interspecies Reviewers anime as it falls outside, big quotes, the company's standards. The spokesman said, after careful consideration, we determined that the series falls outside of our standards. We have the utmost respect for our creators, so rather than substantially alter the content, we felt taking it down was the most respectful choice. So
How much do you think they would have to cut out for it to actually fit into their standards? Into the glorious Funimation standard. How many seconds do you think they would need to cut out before it actually fit?
I'd assume 2 or 3 minutes. I'd assume. I don't know. I think that's kind of the beauty and also the problem of us talking about it is we don't know. We don't know the series. We don't know anything about it. But just from an outsider's perspective, this sounds like a fucking shit show. Like everything
It
about
sounds
this,
like.
everything about this sounds like a shit show. Because what happened was this: fucking Amazon Prime Video removes interspecies reviewers.
Oh,
Interspecies
Amazon.
Interspecies reviewers animes Japanese Tokyo MX airings canceled.
Oh, Amazon.
All the news
You
about this
also
series,
not know what you bought?
all the news about this series is literally just who picked it up, who dropped it, who's dropped it now, who picked it up. Like, it's supposed to be a 12-episode series, and it's like, I think it's like on episode 8 or 7, something like that. And the only reason I'm guessing that is because I feel like it came out like at the beginning of January or the middle of January.
Find whoever dubbed Black Bible. Or Bible Black, or whatever the fuck it's called. They'll fucking do it. They don't have fucking standards. They'll fucking dub it. They'll do it.
Well, that's the best because I'm on the Anime News Network like encyclopedia page where it has all the articles listed, and one of the articles that just says Funimation announces winter simuldub premiere dates, and it's like, oh no, oh god.
Grows in immediately like, how do you know / remember Bible Black?
Oh, here's something fun. On Anime News Network, it says genres: adventure, comedy, erotica, fantasy, and romance. Objectable content: intense. Like, intense.
Intense, like fucking.
I've never had, because here's the thing, we've never had like a show that has done this, or at least not to my knowledge, right? There's never been like an anime that, like, modernly speaking, that has been picked up like this and then canceled like immediately.
To my knowledge, no. I don't recall a fucking anime within the last 10 years of this happening.
Oh, it's so funny.
Like, I know of failed dub projects and of companies just not giving a fuck and passing it off to, like, the voice actors and going, I don't give a fuck what you do, just do it. Like with fucking Ghost Stories. Or Milk-chan, fucking... But this I haven't heard of. Because at the very least, Ghost Stories and Milk-chan either ended up on DVD or TV. Sorry.
No, it's just, to me, this is gonna be like this thing that, like, I think I'll always go back to be like, this is the modern, like, this is like the modern shit show that I think I just needed. You know, like, going every week and watching something fall apart from the outside is, like, interesting because they are like, I don't understand how this happened. You know?
Oh no, Mitch.
What?
I fucked up.
Yeah.
I fucked up. Fiona 121 just said, I just looked up Bible Black. Oops.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right. Pretext. Don't look up Bible Black.
Don't look up Bible Black. Don't do it.
Don't
I thought everyone knew what it was.
No, it's a little too old now. It's almost like 20 years old or something like that. So
don't look it up.
Don't look that up. Anyways, like, I just, watching a shit show fall apart from the outside is the most interesting thing, because it's like how, like, when people talk to me about Star Wars, like, I'm clearly in the in with it. I know enough about it that, like, it matters. But, like,
right.
From people on the outside, they're like, holy shit, what the fuck is happening? And that's how I feel with this. Like, somewhere down the line, someone gave the okay to do this. But then they didn't, like, you know, watch it or, like, review it. I guess that's the trick, right? Because this is based off of like a very short series, like a one-off or something like that, or like a one-volume thing. It gets based off of something incredibly small, and you're trying to stretch it out to 12 episodes. So how the fuck do you do it? how did the manga do it? And I'm sure that they read that they're like, oh well, it can't be that bad, right? And then they made it that bad. So
Yeah.
I just think it's funny. I think it's a pretty it's something that like puts a smile to my face whenever I see it on like my list of shit that I get to go over. So I just wanted to bring it up. It's just something silly to kind of talk about.
I mean, it is. It's fucking hilarious. The fact that like people will buy it without looking into it and then throw it away, just being like, no, I'm good. I'm so good.
I just want to know, like, okay, so like, where would you watch it if you wanted to watch it in English now? You know, do you go to Pornhub? Yeah. Do we just go to Pornhub and watch Interspecies?
I'm pretty sure you can watch it undubbed now there. Because why the fuck wouldn't it be on there? The B movie is on there. Why the fuck wouldn't this be on there?
Oh my god. Oh, okay. Let's just talk about something else.
You're like, I need to move the fuck away from this. You two have picked it up and now thrown it away.
Oh my god. I don't know. It's something. It's just so like bizarre to me. Real quick, I'm gonna see if I can get this thing to fucking work. Please work. No. All right.
No.
Ah, jeez. So I'm not sure if you guys have heard anything about this, but there has been a Monster Hunter film in the works now for a little bit. I don't think there's any trailers or anything about it, but they have released some images, and I will say this much: the props look pretty cool.
Oh yeah?
I mean, they look about as great as the game, so I mean, why not, you know? Here, let me go ahead and put the image up here. There's been a Monster Hunter film in the works for a little bit now.
If there isn't a Palico, I don't want it.
It'll probably be like Sonic. They put it just at the very end, you know.
I just want cute cats that cook.
There it is. I mean, that looks pretty cool. Like that looks pretty solid. I mean, obviously these are just the character designs. You know, they're not like, you know, the monsters. That's the thing that's gonna be like the big thing with me.
Oh, okay. I got confused by the image for a second. For a second, I thought he was pulling up his pants. Like they were just sagging off of him as he was running.
So it stars Mila Jovovich, Tony Jaa. Oh, hey, Ron Perlman's gonna be in this too. So.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, whenever the Pearl Man is in, gotta go see it. The Pearl Man. Hang on.
I love that Grozen's like, so it really does look like that.
Well, I think that the thing that gets me is the fact that, like, okay, so Paul W.S. Anderson is directing this, and if you don't know who that is, fun fact, he did Mortal Kombat. He also did he's involved with the Resident Evil film franchise. I think he did Alien vs. Predator.
So all good news then.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, he did. Hey, are you insulting the guy who did Pompeii?
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Or Death Race. Oh, fuck.
Death Race, Mortal Kombat, and Resident Evil. I have such confidence now.
The premise: a United Nations military team falls into a portal to an alternate world where hunters fight giant monsters. Two groups work together to defend the portal, thwarting monsters from entering and invading Earth.
I hate it. I hate it.
Okay. Yeah, no, this is This is fine. When's it coming out? September 4th, 2020? Okay.
They're like the reverse Smurfs. Do you understand that? They're the reverse Smurfs.
This is an isekai movie.
No. Why? Why the fuck does it have to be that way?
Yeah.
Why the physiak does it have to involve like, oh, we put like agents out of the real world? Just give me fucking fantasy and fuck right off.
No. How else will people connect?
No, I don't care how people connect. You know how people connect? Good writing. Good writing is how people connect.
You say
also, is Harry Potter just an isekai?
that. Maybe? No, because you're taken to a different world. You know?
He's taken to the wizarding world.
The Wizarding World of Harry Potter?
Yes.
Does that count? Does that count as an isekai?
I mean, technically, it's a hidden world that he had no idea about.
You
And he
ain't
was pulled into a world where he was immediately the golden child, so.
wrong. I also don't like that you're not wrong.
Harry Potter is the new sword art.
Oh, jeez, nothing is the new Sword Art. Sword Art is still around. Sword Art would have to stop being around to be the new Sword Art Online. That's how it works. That's like saying that like Dark Horse is going to become the next Marvel. Marvel is still around. You can't do it. But yeah, Monster Hunter coming out September 4th. That's gonna be, it's gonna be good.
Oh no, that's soon.
That's within this year, and we haven't seen a goddamn trailer for it. All we have are these production shots. So here's my guess. Here's my guess of what's gonna happen. She's gonna fall in the portal. The monsters are not gonna be treated like giant animals the way that, like, you know, the Monster Hunter series treats them, where they're just like threats to villages and stuff. They're gonna be treated like end all creatures, but the military is gonna want to get them, right? So Mia Jovovich and the Monster Hunter have to team up together, because the machine guns won't work on the monster, right? Tanks and stuff, nuh-uh. But these old ancient weapons and shit, that's what's gonna make her the Monster Hunter.
I hate it.
That's what I'm guessing. That's what I'm gonna fucking guess. And Ron Perlman is gonna be the villain. He's gonna be like, oh, these monsters, I need them.
Will be the big bad business guy.
I'm going to buy the monsters.
For the US government. For $500 billion. I hate it. I hate it so much.
No, he's not. He's not gonna buy them. He's just gonna be like, I'm gonna capture them Jurassic Park 2 style. Because some of them are dinosaurs.
Oh no. Oh no.
I can't wait to see the Rathalos toy that comes alongside this movie.
Oh no, you're right. The toys.
You got to make the monsters like to be able to sell them as toys.
Oh god, I didn't even think about the fucking toys.
Yeah, this is Jurassic Park 2.
Oh no.
Or it's just the Lost. No. That's fine. It's fine. All right. Anyways, so we'll find out in September, or whenever the first trailer pops for Monster Hunter, that's when we'll know. That's when we'll fucking know what's up.
That's when we'll find out, I guess.
Yeah. We'll find out how this goes. We'll talk about it again when the first trailer pops. I'd love to sit here and like just break down the trailer to see how right I am.
Oh, absolutely.
Or how wrong? Who knows? Maybe I'm
whenever the fucking trailer comes out, because it's getting pretty close to when they should be releasing a trailer, isn't it?
Well, yeah, you want to release trailer at least 5 months before the film comes out.
Yeah, at least one, and then they usually tend to release like a couple on the way, like the closer it gets.
Oh man.
So we should be expecting one soon.
Yeah. So hopefully
How
it'll pop within the
horrifying.
next month. Hopefully it'll pop within the next month. That being said, speaking of movies and having, I finally got my CD drive, which I only realized I should have bought a Blu-ray drive because fuck me.
Well, PS4s work for that.
No. I to share with you guys.
Oh, you know what? You're right.
Because that's where I was gonna get it. I finally got this. I don't have a CD drive on my PC, so I finally got this external HDD device or external CD. That's what it says on the bottom of it, but it's a CD drive, and I don't know what the rest of that means. The point is that I finally have one. You know, we've been watching a couple movies here and there, and recently the first movie we really test this out was Sunrise's 2000 hit
Holy shit.
Escaflowne.
Holy shit, Escaflowne.
You know what? I've been talking for a while. Why don't you give the premise of Escaflowne?
Yeah, no, not a problem. So, fuck. Escaflowne is a beautifully animated movie by Sunrise, the people who do Gundam. It's beautifully animated. The soundtrack is haunting and wonderful, and it is nothing like the TV show at all. Essentially, oh no, Himiko? What's her name?
Oh,
Himuki? I don't know. Anyway.
Shit, yeah.
Hif. Anyway, the main female character is depressed in her real everyday life, and she ends up making this wish that all of it could disappear.
Hitomi.
And Hitomi, all right, that's right, Hitomi. So, Grozen's having like a holy fuck Escaflowne moment. Yeah, I don't like how her head is positioned either, guys. Anyway. Fucking, so she gets taken to this alternate world. Gaia, right?
Yeah.
Gaia. And in Gaia, she is the wing goddess who essentially can summon the dragon armor Escaflowne. By dragon armor, they just mean a Gundam.
A biological Gundam.
A biological squishy Gundam.
That being said, before we go any further, I would like to point out that Escaflowne the film and Escaflowne the movie, damn it, Escaflowne the series and Escaflowne the movie have apparently very different storylines. So the reason I feel like I need to say that is because we had seen an episode before this. We randomly, I bought a DVD randomly that had episode like 8 or 9 on it. And when we started watching this, like, it was very evident that these are different types of stories being told. But sorry, continue.
Oh, yeah, no, not a problem. So, essentially, she's the wing goddess, and only she can summon Escaflowne. And Escaflowne is essentially supposed to destroy the world. And she, as the wing goddess, is supposed to be there to help destroy the world. But she very quickly ends up falling in love with the guy she's clearly holding on to in the picture. Because he's sad and depressed and lonely and has fluffy angel wings that he can summon. So, of course, she falls in love with him and is going to be there because he's depressed and she's depressed. They're a match made in heaven. So, of course, she decides, all right, never mind. I don't want everyone to die. I guess they're cool. And fucking this pisses off his brother who summoned her there just so he could watch the world burn for all intents and purposes. And can I just say, if you want to watch this movie, watch it simply for the visuals and the music. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. If you liked Inuyasha, congrats, because almost everyone in the fucking voice cast is in this show too. Deadass. Main characters are Sango and Moroku voice actors. Deadass. Fucking, so if you liked Inuyasha, they're all in here. All of them. I'm not even fucking kidding. But no, if you want to watch it, absolutely watch it for the visuals, watch it for the soundtrack.
That soundtrack is some of the best, because guess who worked on it, motherfuckers? Yoko Kanno, and if you don't know who that is, dude, it is crazy that Yoko Kanno worked on this. Yoko Kanno, if you guys do not know the name, if you've ever heard anything from the Cowboy Bebop OST, that shit, Yoko Kanno. In fact, Yoko Kanno worked on tons of really very powerful OSTs throughout her career, including Macross, Porco Rosso, Cardcaptor Sakura. I only found that out right now.
Oh, I fucking love Cardcaptor Sakura.
Space Dandy, Code Geass, Akito the Exiled. Tons of just... Yeah. Fucking tons of just really interesting shit. Also, Wolf's Rain. I actually didn't know that, but Wolf's Rain has a haunting OST, so that makes sense.
Oh, yeah. So Grozen says, isn't a big thing one of the guys in that world looks like a dude she had a crush on? So you're probably remembering the TV show. I'm going to have you know we're talking about the movie, and the movie has nothing to do with the TV show.
They're following...
Not a goddamn thing.
It's very loose. It's a very loose adaptation because, as we found out, while the show didn't do so hot in Japan, it did very well in Korea and in the States. Ironically,
yeah.
Well, it's funny because there's a lot of series that did that where they wouldn't do very well in Japan, but they did super well here, including a classic fucking Trigun, you know?
So, I love Trigun.
Yeah. Though well reviewed, the vision of Escaflowne was not as popular in Japan as producers hoped. Outside Japan, however, it was a worldwide hit. In the United States, it outsold Gundam on videotape. Fucking think about that. We are Gundam fucking nerds on this show, and it outsold Gundam. And the first volume of the English DVD release of The Vision of Escaflowne was the 4th best-selling anime DVD for the month of September 2000. I don't know why that's in this, but yeah, it was the 4th best anime selling DVD. So yeah.
I mean, all right.
Yeah. Weird flex, but okay.
A very odd flex, but yeah, all right. But yeah, so the movie has almost nothing to do with the anime, with the exception of names, similar ideas. That's about as far as it goes. Even the way that the two main characters meet isn't even the same. In the anime, they meet by him coming to her world fighting a dragon. And in this one, she gets super depressed and wishes that the world would die. And then his brother pulls her in. Yeah. And she gets summoned inside the mech.
Yeah,
that's how they meet.
So, also the characters are very different. Well, the original, the girl was, her Hitomi was very, was just very much like a shonen protagonist of the 90s, where it's love!
That's my power.
Love. She has depression!
And that's her whole character.
I have depression. I'm thrown into a situation, and then I learned the value of life through my adventure. That's actually a sweet sentiment when you really think about it.
It is, and because she's like, oh, I thought I was all alone with these thoughts and feelings, but you understand, you get me, poor boy who watched his family die in front of him. You get me.
That's right, poor boy who literally the first scene of this fucking show slaughters a bunch of people. Holy shit.
Yeah, it's beautifully animated. This whole thing is beautifully animated. he dead ass murders like 7 people within the first 2 minutes of this starting.
Dude, but like that's the cool part. Like the slaughter. No, the cool part was the fact that like it threw us off guard how well animated just everything about the film was. Because guess who worked on it? 90s Sunrise. 90s Sunrise, creators of such classic shit as Gundam fucking Wing, Gundam, fucking Gundam, shit, War in the Pocket. There's tons of things I could mention, but like the point is that there's a lot of just mecha stuff that was being produced around that time, and also a lot of Sunrise's productions in the 90s were fucking phenomenal. So, like, if you ever want to make me happy, literally just tweet a GIF or just send me a GIF of just any of like that 90s animation that Sunrise did, because that stuff is beautiful and holds up super well.
Oh, yeah, no, it's gorgeous. This whole movie is gorgeous. It's so beautiful. There's a scene with like these 2 cat girls dancing, and it's visually it's stunning. The entire fucking movie is stunning. Don't get that wrong. I don't like the ending.
And I was wrong.
Huh?
I was super wrong, because guess what?
What?
As I found out literally just now, Ep64, the TV show, was made by Sunrise. Also wonderful animation. But the film was actually done by Studio Bones.
Bones?
Yeah.
But Sunrise put its name on it.
Sunrise produced it.
Oh, but they didn't actually animate shit.
Yeah, they animated the TV show, which also had good animation.
Okay.
Studio
Fair.
Bones, known for many classics as Wolf's Rain, Full Metal Alchemist,
Shit.
or on
Yep,
High
there
School
we
Hose
go.
Club, yeah.
Yep, there we go.
Soul Eater.
Yep.
The list goes on.
It's all checking out.
Yeah.
Those are very visually appealing shows. All right.
My Hero Academia.
Good
Carol
to know
and
they're still
Tuesday.
doing stuff.
Dragon Pilot. Blood Blockade. Fucking Bungo Stray Dogs. like all these ones are like everything. Show by Rock.
Oh, fuck. I love Show by Rock.
Space Dandy.
Space Dandy.
Oh, jeez. Eureka 7. Everything here is a masterpiece.
Oh, no. Shit.
Anyways, the point is that there are some like I did just sing the praises of Sunrise 90s. I still stand by that. I just was wrong. The film was done by Bones. So.
Okay, very fair. But like I was saying, I don't like this ending. I didn't like it at all.
I agree. The ending felt weird, but also I almost feel like, okay, so there was this thing that happened, this real last thing that happened where me, Josh, and Amanda, we all like, just you're right here. We're all fucking watching the film, and there is a battle. There's the battle we've been waiting for. You know, Ep64 is doing some cool shit, right?
Yeah.
But there's a problem. See, in the TV show, we already have seen Ep64 fight multiple battles. In fact, they make it sound like the mechs in the movie are like super rare dragon armors, right? But in the TV show, they're clockwork, like steampunk-esque kind of like fantasy machines. And in the episode we saw, the Ep64 fighting off against like 7 different mechs, and then Lord Terry, Tristan, I don't know, I can't remember. It was like,
Jeremy, I don't know.
Yeah, it was a real last name.
Alan.
Yeah, Lord Alan. Alan comes in his mech and saves the day, and they're like beautiful, like these big, beautiful like mechanites. So there's this weird preconceived notion of what should be in the movie, because we only watched one episode. We watched one fucking episode of the show, but already we're like, yes, big mech fights. Like let's do it. But in this movie, they changed the context of what the mech was, and it threw the whole movie off. Because it's no longer like it's. Don't get me wrong. The Escaflowne is the equivalent of like RX-78 Gundam, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna change the war or whatever. You know.
It's gonna change the war or whatever.
And
I guess.
yeah, Gundanium. So it's just weird because while I do enjoy the movie for what it is, and I do appreciate everything it tried to do, all it really did at the end of the day was make me 1,000 times more curious about the actual show Escaflowne. And I really want to get my hands on the re-release that they did. So I want to get my hands on that re-release. I want to watch Escaflowne. I want to see what it's about because it does sound like an interesting project. Like I am all for the fantasy mech idea. I love the idea of just a big steampunk thing. And so yeah, this pretty much ends our Escaflowne talk. Is there anything you want to add about Escaflowne?
Yeah. I was not expecting the mechs to be as organic as they were. Because like you said, when we've seen them in the show that they were clockwork. But there's a point in time when he's jumping into the mech and it like straps him in like normal and it like wraps around his legs and his arms. And I was like, okay. And then drills come out. And if you were there, you would have just heard all of us screaming as these drills just went straight into his fucking neck. And we're all like, what the fuck? Why? And it just starts pumping him out, like all of his blood out. And fucking we're just sat there going, what the fuck? But why? And it just starts filling with blood. And we're like, oh, okay. I guess that's what it runs on. Blood. Alright. And then I just wasn't expecting it to be so organic. Grosden's like, you say organic. Are we talking about Evangelions or I forgot the drills? I wasn't ready to see like the drills or anything. And then he like takes the sword out of his back, and when he takes the sword out, it rips it out and it just gushes blood. And I was like, okay.
It's not what I signed up for. None of us signed up for that. We were expecting like the nightly like giant mech that we had seen, and we didn't get it. Essentially, is what the end of that statement is.
I mean, I didn't hate that it like linked up to him organically. I just wasn't ready for the fucking drill.
Yeah, the organic drill.
Yeah, and then they implied that inside the cuffs around the fingers and the hand and the arms and the legs, there were also tiny spikes or drills because his hands and arms were bleeding. And I was like, oh. Alright, Escaflowne. Alright. Guess we're doing that. Okay. That's fine. I guess this is where we're at. Okay.
Well, guys, I think that wraps us up for another episode of the podcast, yeah?
Yeah?
Well, it's one of those things where it's like we could go on for like probably like ever.
Oh, that's very fair.
But like at the same time, it's like I do want to save some of the stuff for the next time we can get some more people on. Because I know that Nate couldn't make it this week because he is asleep, and Josh is Josh, so you know. Oh, good. No, but there's like tons of stuff I do want to start. I want to start doing something in which every week, because we watch a ton of movies and shows together. Recently, we just got Nate into Full Metal Alchemist, and not Brotherhood. We're talking about 03. And I want to talk a little bit about that as we continue.
Yeah. So Ocean says, so you decided to end on the neck drill, huh?
all right. I can probably pull one more subject out of my ass. Hang on a second. Let's talk about one final thing before we go.
Okay.
Yeah. So I actually know exactly what we're going to talk about because it's something we can talk about without Nate.
Okay.
Okay, Full Metal Alchemist, yeah?
Right.
This has been a bitch and a half to get this box set.
Has it?
Yes. I spent $100 to get the box set for Full Metal Alchemist. Like, I know that it's on Netflix. I get that. But the whole point of me getting this was because, I think I explained it last week. I want to start collecting like DVDs and series and stuff because guess what happens, everyone? Netflix's fucking licenses can run out whenever. So, fuck.
Yeah, best to get some things while you can.
And I lucked out essentially because I was able to find a version that wasn't gonna break an arm and a leg. Ha 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 ha. I hate that joke so much.
Why tell it?
I don't know. I immediately regretted it. Yeah, okay, so let's talk a little bit about Fullmetal Alchemist 03. So for those at home who don't know, I'm sure that everyone does, but why not? Full Metal Alchemist came out in 2003, and hence is referred to as FMA 03. Half of the show was produced with manga to supplement the series, but the other half of the show had to kind of be made up as they went along because, as it turns out, the manga wasn't done. So the team came up with what I consider probably one of the best anime like adaptations, and actually that's it, one of the best anime adaptations I've ever seen. FMA 03 works on so many levels, and while there is like a tonal difference slightly between the first half and second half, I think that it salvages itself and makes a wonderful conclusion to the series with what they had,
Oh yeah, I totally agree.
That being said, I guess in recent years there's been a debate about Brotherhood versus 03. I read all the manga. I didn't watch a lot of Brotherhood because I felt that there was a difference in direction of how to handle certain scenes. And because of that, and we're going to talk specifically about the Shao Tucker scene. Because I think that's probably the best example that I could think of why it was hard for me to continue Brotherhood. Knowing Brotherhood's out there, that's not to say that Brotherhood's bad. It's just a difference of opinion. Brotherhood is probably super great. I mean, I know a lot of people who really like Brotherhood, prefer Brotherhood to 03. I know that a lot of people who think that I think 03 is better is like, you're wrong, Mitchell. I'm being very kind to myself. They call me way worse than that. But the point is that for a lot of anime fans, the question would become, why would you prefer something that is essentially filler to the canon product? Brotherhood was made because the manga was finishing up and they wanted to essentially tell the true whole thing, So why would you prefer the filler? And what I would argue is this. Direction. There's something about how 03 handles everything, the way that it handles certain scenes, the drama of it, the build-ups of it, the highs and lows. There's something about how 03 handles it that I think just works a lot better. When I say we're going to talk about the Shao Tucker scene, I mean it. The Shao Tucker scene, if you don't know what we're talking about, 1, congratulations. 2, please leave the podcast so you don't get spoiled. But the Shao Tucker scene is this. Shao Tucker is the Sewing Life alchemist, and he needs to come up with a talking chimera like he did before, or else the state's gonna remove his funding and he'll go back to being a backwater kind of alchemist that, you know, fixes shit, you know, and is poor. And it is revealed dramatically that how he was able to make his first talking chimera was he had fused his wife to a bird or some sort of animal, and that was the talking chimera. And so in desperation, he fuses his daughter and the dog together, Nina and
You
Alex.
say desperation.
It seems like it's out of desperation. It is revealed that he did it because he could, and that there's a god complex going on with Shao Tucker. And then the scenes are just handled very differently between Brotherhood and 03. When the atmosphere is built very subtly in 03. We just watched it like last week, right?
Yeah, we just watched it.
And it hits hard because it's quiet. Whoever did the OST, fucking solid. Always
solid.
Always with these soundtracks. The Full Metal Alchemist OST is beautiful. Brothers is beautiful, you know?
Yeah.
So, sorry. You explained it better than I did about the differences between how they handled each one. Would you want to go over that real quick?
Sure. So in 03, the scene is played quietly. So, like, it's only background noise. So you get to see what he's done. And it's all played quietly before the tension finally builds and snaps. And that's when the music kicks back in, is when Ed snaps. And the entire scene is lit like it's on fire. Everything's bright reds and oranges, and it adds like this look of horror to Shao Tucker. Shao Tucker in that scene looks like a fucking monster. Because that's what he is. The bright light on his glasses, everything just makes him look like a monster. In Brotherhood, I don't agree with it because I think some moments need to be played quietly. I think the audience should be allowed to process what they're looking at. And they played music over top of it. And it was orchestral and very instrumental and fucking... But it was a lot. It was, and maybe it's because I had seen the 03 version first and I remember it being so quiet. But the fact that it was music outright and it was intense, and then the fact that like the entire scene was grayed out, like everything was monotone. They weren't black and white necessarily, but it wasn't as bright. It wasn't nearly as intense. And it kind of took me out of it, whereas like in 03 it was silent because you get to see his new chimera. And when I was a little kid watching it, it was the horrified realization dawning in just pure silence. But in like in Brotherhood, they're instantly like, you know who it is. Like immediately, you know this one.
It's hard to kind of follow up that reveal, and I am not envious of the team who had to follow up one of the most iconic reveals in anime. You know,
no.
Everyone
about Nina.
Everyone, even if you didn't know, like we lucked out. And even though, because that's the thing, we're watching it with Nate because Nate hasn't seen it before. And so we're watching it with Nate, and even though Nate knew because of memes, it still hurt. And I think that like it goes to show like you can know how something's going to end, but if it's executed properly, it's still beautiful, you know? It's still like haunting. And like just everything past a certain point in that episode becomes like crazy. Between Vic Mignogna's, wonderful performance as Edward Elric, and especially at the end of that episode when his voice begins to crack.
Yeah, when he just starts sobbing. And his voice just cracks into full-on real-ass sobs. And then you gotta sit there and you gotta go, he just had his 12th birthday. He just had his 12th birthday. It's so sad. He's such a sad boy.
That's the thing. With Full Metal Alchemist 03, I feel like it doesn't ramp up to the levels that Brotherhood does, but I appreciate that more,
Yeah.
Brotherhood's story ends with a giant anime fight,
With God, yeah.
And as much as I loved reading that, I do prefer the conflict with Dante more. I do enjoy the reveal of Hohenheim and all that stuff. That is, to me, just a better story.
Yeah, and I like that even though Nate knew, because Nate did know. Nate knew what happened to Nina. Nate knew everything that was going to happen. But he didn't know why. And he didn't know the buildup of the process. And he was actively getting mad the closer and closer we got to it. Because there are scenes in which it's totally dark and there's soft music playing. And Nina goes up to her dad and hugs him. And Nate was getting mad. Because she thinks the world of him. And he's like, you son of a bitch, the entire time. And then, obviously, it happens, and Nate's upset and mad. And then, when they're asking Tucker why, and he's like, 'cause I could. I didn't give a fuck if I was gonna lose everything. It's 'cause I could. 'Cause I wanted to know if I can. And Nate fucking lost it. And it was great, because he was so mad and so upset. It was excellent. Also, Insane Oddball says, supposedly that was Vic's real reaction towards that plot point.
Damn. Oh, man. It's hard to talk about Vic, unfortunately, knowing what we know now. It's because that's the thing. I'm watching this with Nate. We both are, and he's nailing this performance. It's his most iconic role, And and yet at the back of my head, I'm like, oh, dude, I can't sit there and enjoy it as much as I feel like I should. Because there's always that thing at the back etching the back of my skull. It's like, this guy is like problematic and shit. I'm like, yeah, but that performance though, like, and it just sucks. It sucks.
It really does. After this, I should look into like how that court case is going.
I think it ended. I think that was all. I think it's done. I remember, not to talk about like live, but I'm pretty sure it's done. Because what was it? He tried to sue Funimation. Because he was claiming defamation stuff.
Yeah, defamation of character.
And
because he essentially got blacklisted.
Yeah, in January, accusations of sexual assault and homophobia surfaced against Mignogna. Funimation ended its relationship with the voice actor a month later. This was what is it? This was not was this was last year. This is all last year. Because he's been out of it for some time. But I think he lost the court case. Or I can't remember what exactly. I can't. Oh God! You know what? Let me just look it up. Anime News Network. Don't fail me now.
Don't fail me.
Because we talked about this a year ago, maybe not on the show, but we all had talked about this because Mignana, me and you went into conventions in the late aughts, early tens and stuff.
Yeah.
And, we all like
I'm just trying to find like recent shit for it.
The last news article was Judge rules Vic Mignogna must pay $238,000 to defendants in lawsuit. Well, fuck. Yeah, he super lost the court case. And that is probably the last thing that we will hear about him. Because what they replaced him as Broly,
Oh yeah, they did.
It just sucks. It just sucks because I wonder if they, there's talks about people like doing like entire like. I once heard an argument that like this was years ago, mind you, but I once heard an argument that the idea that you could essentially, if you still had the masters for all of this stuff, like all the original files and stuff, that you could essentially just redub it the way that Byleth's voice actor in Fire Emblem was redone. It's supposed to be some dude. The dude did something bad, and they replaced him. So people are saying, with Vic, could you essentially replace him from some of these roles? Especially Oron or like some of that, like get like some of these new voice actors, who I'm sure would be glad to take the role, but how much would you want to edit out? Essentially, how would you because it's just voicing over something. You could easily just take the audio from that performance and just swap it out with a different one. It was a lot of work, mind you, but you could do it. But some of these projects are over 20 years old. Hell, Full Metal's going to become 20 years old in 3 years,
Yeah.
So
I don't know how bad he's hurting, considering he's still all over the place going to conventions, as it turns out.
Is he?
Yeah, I'm looking at his like Twitter right now. He's going to cons. He's like still being credited as Broly and fucking.
I was gonna say he's no longer Broly though.
Yeah, he's not currently Broly, but according to like these different conventions, they're like, oh, he's the voice of Broly. He's Edward Elric. There we go. He's still going to cons and stuff. So I mean, there's that.
Huh. Well, I guess that's good.
Yeah.
For him, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this, right? Because at the end of the day,
we don't know.
We don't know. We don't know.
Because there were those people who were like, yeah, you're using my photos though to accuse him, but I wanted him to hug me, and I don't know.
Oh God, it's a complicated situation, and at the end of the day, we went to those conventions. We heard the stories. There was always the joke. We heard that he was an insufferable person to work with because he was so cocky and arrogant. I remember that one a lot, and it's a complicated situation,
It really is.
Because at the end of the day, I still like the performance. He will always be Edward Elric to me. It is so iconic. It is such a role. It's one of those things where you ever hear the argument subs or dubs, and that's the first show I go to. That and Panty and Stocking, because you ever get to hear the production stories behind Panty and Stocking, that shit is wonderful to listen to. But like that always has been the case for a dub. The 03 dub is a wonderful production. They got an actual kid to voice fucking Alphonse. Everyone is iconic in their roles. They all returned for Brotherhood except for the child who played Alphonse, who still works in the industry as a voice actor. Just not Alphonse. You know, and
but that's also fair.
That's also super fair. And like Alphonse,
play a 10-year-old again. 20-year-old man.
he does such a good job as like that 10-year-old did such a good job, like to care, like the way his voice cracks and stuff. Like you can hear Nate like melt at the child like acting. Because
oh god, anytime Al ever started just sobbing in the show, you can just hear Nate go, just don't. Because it's legit a fucking like 12-year-old crying. And it's like, no. And he just feels so bad. But he does such a good job because he's just acting. He's just acting, but he's doing such a wonderful job.
Oh, man. Anyways, guys, Full Metal Alchemist 03 is, to me, the better of the versions just because of fucking direction, subtlety, tone. There's so many things I could argue, but either way, they're both really fucking good. That's like arguing the difference between like a super solid milkshake and a super more powerful milkshake. They're both really fucking good. Full Metal Alchemist as a story and as a concept is such an interesting and well done and well executed story that, like, you know, of course it's successful. As for the Vic Mignogna stuff, I feel like at the end of the day, this essentially just boils down to the art from the artist, you know? And there's never an easy answer to it. There never will be, you know?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I think that for what it is worth, if you haven't checked out Full Metal Alchemist 03, it's available on Netflix. Give it a watch. It's one of the best anime I've ever seen in my life, and rewatching it with Nate has been a real joy. So, anyways, I hope that's a better note to end it on than drills in the neck. So hopefully the fucking uncertainty of the artist and the art argument, sure. All right.
Sure.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you all so much for listening to another episode of Mitch's Minute. If you haven't already hit that like button, go ahead and give it a like. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification. Just we love to perform. We love to be here. Love to do the show every week. I think something funny is I was thinking about this the other day. If I ever stopped doing Let's Play, I think I'd still do the podcast. I'd still come back every week. Yeah, because I think it's podcast is super chill. I like doing the podcast. You know, it's super chill. We're not, like doing a bunch of stuff, setting everything up. It's pretty easy. So
no, that's super fair.
But anyways, guys, catch y'all next week. Some of you will catch on Tuesday. But anyways, we'll catch y'all later.
Later.